Welcome to the Transform Your Wealth and Health podcast, where experts in wealth, health, and fitness help transform your life. Here's your host, Andy Arter.
Hi, and Merry Christmas, everybody. It's that time of the year where we can all easily overindulge, and I'm trying to keep you guys healthy, me in particular, because this time of the year it normally means half a stone to a stone going on my weight. Yeah, I know that's quite drastic, but I normally have a very good Christmas, so thank you. Now, that would mean extra calories on all sorts of meals, normally provided by family members, my mother and my mother-in-law in particular, and it's very difficult to say no when they've put a lot of time and effort into things, and you go round to their house and you have to keep saying no, not for me, etc, etc. But obviously, we want to have a good time. I do like to drink now and again too, so I do have a couple of beers at Christmas. And last year was the first year that I actually had where I didn't put on any weight over the Christmas period. I actually worked out, although I'd eaten quite a bit more than normal, that it was exactly the same weight as before Christmas as after. So I thought I'd go into a few of those things and a few tips and tricks that you can use to do the same, because you don't really want to be like the old me where half a stone to a stone goes on every Christmas, do you? And you're into your new year with your New Year's resolutions, and come January, February, you've broken them and your belt still needs to go up another notch. So let's get into it. We want to find out what you can do to get yourself organised so that you're not going to put any weight on over Christmas. Or if you are underweight, you could probably reverse this stuff and say, what can I do to put weight on over Christmas so that you can get to the desired weight that you want to be? Firstly, I would work on your reason why. So you want to be your ideal weight, but if you don't have an exact reason why, then you're probably going to struggle, and I'll tell you why that will be. You're going to have some tough times. It's going to be mentally a challenge as much as a physical challenge, and you will need to rely upon your brain to come to the fore when you want it. So that most of the time you'll just follow your rules. So I'm going to get you to create some rules for yourself, what we call non-negotiable actions, NNAs, and just by following these things you should be able to stick to a good routine and a good plan and make it work for yourself. But when them times are tough, you need to have a reason why. Now, I've got my own reasons why. I've detailed them and documented them in my 60-page ebook, which you're quite welcome to have. If you contact me on transformyourwealthandhealth@gmail.com, I will send you my free ebook, which is basically what this is based upon. But you need to have a reason why, and this will make you stick to the plan at the toughest times. So Christmas, you're having a few drinks. Do you have a few more drinks? Should you have Coca-Cola Diet or Coca-Cola Normal? All your choices, it's all in your brain. You can sort yourself out beforehand. Now, what I've done in the past, and I did last Christmas, was some of the people that I actually went out on nights out down to the pub, I said that I drove. I took my car and I drank Diet Coke. So the resulting action was 0 calories, I would guess, going onto my waistline. And in previous years, probably would have had a few pints. So at 250 calories a pint, only takes 4 pints and you've done 1,000 calories. So I think that's probably about half a pound that's gone straight on to your waistline. So you can work this stuff out. It's just like a bank account. It's an in and an out. So if you're going to control what goes in and you're going to control what goes out, just like a bank account, then at the end of the day, you'll know what you're likely to be able to stick to and get your waistline where you want it to be. You ought to get the app MyFitnessPal. Now, MyFitnessPal is an absolutely brilliant app which helps you note all of the things that you've eaten. It tells you how many calories they are. It also details and logs your exercise, particularly your steps. So it will say how many steps you've done within a day, tell you how active you've really been. You can put in there, I don't particularly, individual exercises. So if you had an individual exercise plan, you could tell it that you've done 50 press-ups and 50 sit-ups, etc. And I believe it would take off those calories off of your day. But I always put that as a bonus on my own version of MyFitnessPal. This is just for collecting the amount of calories and the amount of fat and the amount of protein, etc. that I've taken in within my food. I've found it so helpful and such a restraint, because you've got to, let's say you're going to do 1500 calories in a day. You've got to 1500 calories. Do you eat that extra cake or bowl of cereal or have that extra pint, etc.? Well, you look down at MyFitnessPal and it tells you whether you ought to or not. And it's then up to your reasons why and your self-restraint as to whether you do or not. Now, that's entirely up to you. I'm not in your brain. I'm only here to help. But when I found I've used the app and I've used the app properly, it's brilliant. You can shop for good foods. Now, when I say good foods, you can tell the difference at Christmas. Things like all the stuff with the icing on and the Christmas cakes and the Christmas puddings, all the sort of stuff that's out that might lead you to putting on a heck of a lot of weight just by eating 1 or 2 slices of cake, let's say for example, or Christmas pudding, because they're heavily laden with calories and fat and sugar. You can avoid those kind of things and possibly even still eat them but get the healthier version. So I did a heck of a lot of that, switching foods as I called it. It's detailed in the ebook, but you need to be looking at, and let's give you an example here, crisps. So if you like yourself some crisps, Walker's crisps are available in 2 different versions that I eat, and they are the full fat version, which I believe is 7.3 grams per 30 gram packet, and the other version is oven baked, and that is 3.4 grams of fat. Now I actually prefer the oven baked version, got used to them probably, and that version has got less than half of the fat of the other one. So I'm eating a better version, for me at least, of the crisps, and it's half the fat content. So that's really a bonus for me. I've got myself organised to make sure that I've got those crisps in and not the other ones. Straight away reduced my fat content by half. You can do the same too. You need to go to the shops and look at the packets. Switch the foods that you've got that you'd normally eat within your basket for a healthier version. You can do this really easily. You can also look at diet sheets within the ebook, and they give you a lot of diets and menus and meals for under 300 calories. So each meal that you're going to have, we're going to try and look at maybe 300 to 500 calories per meal, but also looking at things like the protein and the fat content, etc. Easily done. They're really simple and ordinary foods. There's no special milkshakes here. It's things like fry-ups. Now I love a fry-up, and we can do a fry-up for under 300 calories. That's in the ebook. Think of your digestion. Now a lot of people end up having indigestion over Christmas period. I certainly used to. And I heard recently that up to 1/3 of our body's energy is used in the consumption of digestion. So if you believe you could reduce your calorie intake by 1/3 and yet not do anything worse to your body just by giving it foods that are better and easier consumed, and that would be digested by the body. So one of the things I quite like a lot of, and I do use if I'm using it for a calorie controlled diet, is soups. And soups are very easily digested. It's just a liquid straight into the body, and it's easily digested with anything that you want to put into it. So you can put in normal vegetables and make your own soups, etc. They're good for you, they're low in calories, and you can control the goodness that goes into them, but it's easily consumed by the body, and the digestion will be aided by being a product that can be easily digested, and your body won't need so much calories to actually consume that product. So if you give it complicated fatty products, you're going to need a lot of your energy taken up just in digestion. So think on those lines. You might want to say no. Now, like I said earlier, hard to say no to my mother and my mother-in-law when they've made a lot of effort and cooked some beautiful food. But you have to be realistic. If you keep on eating rich caloried foods with a lot of fat in them, as a lot of the stuff that we eat over Christmas at least have, then you're going to be asking for trouble. You can't go on forever, and at some point you have got to draw a line in the sand. They will understand. They want you around, so they don't want you to be having health problems and heart attacks, etc., etc. You have to draw your line in the sand. That's up to you once again, but it's a way of controlling what you're putting into your body. So just say no now and again. Sounds like a drug advert, doesn't it? Just say no. So at Christmas, you've probably got more time on your hands, so you might want to be upping your exercise levels. You've got the time. You just need to put the effort into some exercise. So work out what you want to do beforehand and work to that as a painting by numbers exercise. So today I'm going to get up, I'm going to do 30 press-ups, I'm going to do 20 sit-ups, I'm going for a run around the block, whatever it might be. Walk the dog, it doesn't really matter. But once you've set yourself that as a plan, make a tick list. Get it out there that you're going to do this stuff. Tick, 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 tick. Every day, come the end of the couple of week holiday period, you'll be a lot fitter, possibly even more healthy and fitter than before the holiday break. It's up to you. You decide what you put into it and you decide what you get out of it. Set yourself some goals. So you've got the time, we've just said. Most people got a little bit more time at Christmas, and you can say to yourself, I'm going to go on the longest walk that I've ever done. You can walk 10 miles, 20 miles, doesn't really matter how far you used to walk in, but you might want to do that. Or you could go on the longest run that you've ever done, or the quickest. Whatever you're thinking of doing, set it up, but you can actually do it over this Christmas period. It will give you something to aim for, keep you happy, because we all need goals and challenges. Push for it, and that will be a time that you're not actually eating and having festivities, but you're working on your own self-image and helping yourself too. You'll find that this gives you a sense of achievement, and everybody needs to work towards things. So if you've got something that you can actually say, this is what I achieved over the holiday period, you're much more likely to work towards that than just sitting there and plonking food in your face over and over permanently. Now, I set myself some NNAs, non-negotiable actions. So these non-negotiable actions were that I was going to exercise every day, and I was going to be in bed by certain times of the night, and I was going to be taking various foods and vitamins, etc., to make me healthier. So I did those things, and they were not negotiable. So you might want to make yourself some non-negotiable actions and try and stick to them. They're going to be good for you, so you can work towards what are going to be my actions now, so that when you actually come to it, it's just a tick box. Did I do this today? Yes or no? If you haven't done it, you need to do it. Simple as. Also, I have what I call RPAs, that's result producing actions. So these things, they are negotiable. I can say, well, it would better my life if I do these, but I don't have to do them. I just know that if I do them, I will get a better result. They're result producing actions. So that kind of thing might be that I always kept saying I'm going to get my bike out, and it didn't happen all the time, but from time to time I did get my bike out. I tried to do it at least once a week, in the summer at least, and that meant that I was going to be getting some good exercise in and having a little bit of fun. We're quite in the countryside here, so I see some beautiful animals and some lovely fields and forests, etc. So I enjoyed myself while I was doing it, but I didn't do it enough. I didn't persecute myself for it. It wasn't a non-negotiable action. It was something that I knew would help me if I could do it. So I produced quite a few of those as well, just to spur me on and give myself a few challenges as well. If you enjoy the process of getting fitter and healthier, there's absolutely no point in being miserable after all. You know, if you're going to do this stuff, then you might want to enjoy it and reap the results at the end of it all. But you're only going to get around about 20% improvement from your exercise. You really got to look at what you're eating. So if you want to have a good Christmas and you want to be able to maintain or even improve on your exercise and healthiness and weight levels, then you've got to get organised now. So just to give you an idea, as a summary, I'd summarise it as: change your attitude to food, change your version of the foods that you eat, change the amount of the foods that you eat, and change your body shape as a result. So my own goals for 2018 is to get 100 people fitter and healthier throughout the whole year. So to that aim, I'm going to be advertising for people that might like to work alongside me, and these people I would be putting through a program of health and wealth improvement. So if you'd like to be involved and apply for a position on the health and wealth program, then please contact me on transformyourwealthandhealth@gmail.com, or contact me on social media. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and until next time, start transforming your wealth and health now.